Some of the reports that are coming out of the Oklahoma Sooners fall camp, the scrimmages, the practices, guys, it might not be what you're told it is that you need to believe. And today we got to talk about Jackson Arnold. That's the topic of conversation. Because if you're an Oklahoma Sooner fan, you had such high hopes for this kid coming out of high school, being a 5-star, being a top 10 player. I understand some of the frustrations that are being talked about out there, but I also want to reset your expectations and explain to you guys where your head should actually be at in terms of this conversation. And I get it. Some of the experts, some of the radio talking heads, listen, they're going to have some strong opinions. And sometimes, they're going out there and they're going to sell it to you a specific way to get you to listen, right? I do the same thing sometimes. But I want to give you guys a perspective that anytime you hear a report like this, how you can internalize it and understand what is actually being said. And here's where I'm going to start with this. If I told you today, Jackson Arnold threw 20 touchdowns in the scrimmages all weekend, right? No interceptions, 20 touchdowns in 3 scrimmages. But then the next weekend, he had a bad weekend. He threw 6 picks. He only had 10 touchdowns through 3 scrimmages. You might be a little concerned. And that's, I think, where Oklahoma fans are at now. Jackson Arnold walked into the office and had a bad day in the office. And people ripped him for it. And people told you that you needed to believe that Oklahoma has concerns. But here's what I want you to understand. Sometimes you have to take the really good and the really bad and say it's somewhere in the middle. Maybe he's not going to throw 20 touchdowns and 0 interceptions through 3 games. He's probably not going to throw only 10 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. What you saw against Arizona was an anomaly. He had a piecemealed offensive line. And guys, it was his first, he had a new offensive coordinator. He had a couple weeks to get ready for that game. As a starter, he had everything going against him. Yet Oklahoma was still in that game and had a chance to win. That should give you hope. But in terms now, we're in fall camp. He had a bad day. Who knows? Maybe Jackson Arnold woke up and just, maybe his allergies were bothering him. He just wasn't feeling great, right? It happens to me all the time. And when I don't feel great, I wake up, my allergies are bothering me. I'm not as productive. I'm not as high performing of a person as I could be. Maybe that happened. It happens to everybody. They can have a bad day. But Oklahoma fans need to understand this. This is going to be Jackson Arnold's first year as a true starter. Last year, he started in the Arizona game. He played in the BYU game after Dillon Gabriel got hurt. But this is his first time to be the leader of this team and the leader of the offense. The other thing I want Oklahoma fans to understand is this. He's a young quarterback. He's only a true sophomore. I want you to understand that. He's a true sophomore. A lot of kids, they don't get that benefit. Think about it. Rattler, he got redshirted. Then he was a redshirt freshman. Then a redshirt sophomore. Same thing for a lot of other quarterbacks in the past. Now, Caleb Williams, completely different anomaly, but I don't want Oklahoma fans to do what they did in 2021 this season. Jackson Arnold's really young, but he's also got all of the weapons that he needs to be successful and be great. He's got Deion Burks, Brennan Thompson, Zion Ragens, KJ Daniels, Zion Kearney. They can all be deep threats. Guy that you just say, run in a straight line, beat the corner, beat the safety, get down there. Jackson's going to get you the ball. Then you've got Nick Anderson, Ivan Carrion, J.J. Hester. 3 guys that have size, have length, that can beat their receivers that way. You've got 2 tight ends and Bauer Sharp and Jake Roberts, who they're going to make an impact at that tight end room. That tight end room is expected to be better than it's been over the past couple of years. Not to mention, if Caden Helms is what we want him to be, my gosh, everybody better watch out for the tight end room. And if the offensive line is as good as I'm telling you it's going to be in terms of pass coverage, my Lord, imagine a quarterback who can finally see over his offensive lineman that can give him, let's just say, 3 seconds. He's going to find receivers. So what I want, Sorry, guys. Still trying to get over this cough a little bit. What I want everybody to understand is this. You're going to hear these reports. And, sometimes people are going to try to shoot you straight about what happened. But that doesn't mean it's a cause for overreaction. We as fans have a tendency to overreact to things. Sometimes good. A lot of the time it's bad. But sometimes overreacting can get you into trouble. Because here's what I don't want. I don't want Jackson Arnold to play really well through 3 games, struggle against Tennessee, struggle against Auburn, and he comes to the Red River Showdown, has an okay game, and then comes home and fans call for Michael Hawkins because you're overreacting. That's what I don't want. Because although in 2021, maybe playing Caleb Williams over Rattler was the better decision, that is almost never the case. Starting a true freshman quarterback, no matter how talented they are, only stunts their growth and hurts them and their development. And it also kind of hurts the team. Caleb Williams, as good as he was, when he went up against a tenured, seniored Baylor and Oklahoma State, he struggled. I don't want that to happen with Michael Hawkins. And Michael Hawkins, I've heard, is really good. But he's going to make true freshman mistakes if you get him out there. It's just the nature of the game. Jackson Arnold is going to make mistakes, even as a true sophomore. It's just the nature of the game. It's how it is. The other thing you got to understand is this. Oklahoma might have their best defense that they've had since 2009. 2009, maybe even 2010. Let's just say 2010. If that's the case, you are testing Jackson Arnold against what should be one of the best defenses in college football. If this is one of the best defenses Oklahoma's had since 2010, this will be one of the best defenses in college football, which means Jackson Arnold is being tested day in and day out, which should hopefully provide you as an Oklahoma fan some hope. Because if your defense is able to play like that against a really good quarterback, then that would tell you Jackson Arnold is going to be really good. The other thing is this defense, they see the offense every day. They understand those tendencies. They know the playbook. It's going to be a little bit easier for them to pick Jackson Arnold off, to, understand the routes, to understand what Gavin Sawchuk's tendencies are to find a hole and where his running lane is. They understand that. So everything that you see, everything that you hear, you have to understand. You have to take the best and you have to take the worst and you have to find the middle, and that's probably where it's at. And honestly, if you set yourself up to be in the middle, you'll be less disappointed at the end of the day. So Oklahoma fans, don't overreact. It's as simple as that. Jackson Arnold's going to be fine. Jackson Arnold is going to be a great quarterback. He's got probably 2 more years here at Oklahoma. Enjoy it. Enjoy this time. This is Oklahoma's going into the first year of the SEC. If Jackson Arnold plays and Oklahoma goes 9-3, I don't think anybody's talking about this next season. We're all probably talking about how Jackson Arnold has the opportunity to take a step up in the offseason, potentially be a Heisman contender the next year, and make Oklahoma a national championship contender. So if you're an Oklahoma fan, you guys made it this far, make sure you guys join the discussion. Jump in the comments below. Give me your thoughts. And if you guys have not already, make sure you hit that like and you hit that subscribe button.